Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I talk about cameras, photography, and all that good stuff. Today we're going to compare two lenses for the Sony A6K lineup of cameras, and that is the Sigma 30mm f1.4 and the Viltrox 33mm f1.4. Both great lenses in their own right. If you haven't seen it, I have done individual reviews on both of these lenses. I've also done a comparison video of the Sony 35mm and the Sigma 30mm, so check that out if you haven't already. But let's get into the comparison between the Sigma and the Viltrox and all that good stuff. So first thing, I just want to go over some of the quick specs of both lenses. We're going to get into side-by-side comparisons of different photos and things like that, as well as autofocus discussion and all that good stuff. But let's talk about specs really quickly. So first thing I wanted to talk about is price. These are very similarly priced lenses, but they are different prices on different websites. So Amazon, the Sigma, let's start with the Sigma, is $272 on Amazon and then $289 on B&H. B&H also shows the original price for this lens was $339, so it's come down significantly since it's been released. Whereas the Viltrox is $259 on Amazon and it is $240 on B&H. So the Viltrox comes in at a little bit cheaper than the Sigma overall. Then of course, focal length, the Viltrox is 33mm and the Sigma is 30mm, so the Sigma is just a tad bit wider. The maximum aperture of both of these lenses is f1.4, so you get juicy bokeh and great blurry backgrounds if you want that, and great low light performance. The minimum aperture is f16 for both lenses. Also similar for both lenses is the filter thread size, which is 52mm. Then the minimum focusing distance, there is a difference here. The Sigma is about just under a foot at 11.81 inches, whereas the Viltrox is over a foot. It is 1.31 feet or 40 centimeters. So the Viltrox, you need a little bit more space than the Sigma, and we will get into that later. The weight of the lenses is not very different. The Sigma just comes in a little bit lighter at 9.35 ounces, whereas the Viltrox is 9.52 ounces. And then both of these lenses do not have image stabilization. I wouldn't really expect that in like a sub $300 lens. I will put on the screen the stats for the Sony 35mm f1.8. It's not as fast of a lens, but it is a more expensive lens that a lot of people really like, including myself. Just thought it would be interesting to show you guys those stats. But let's dive into photo examples for the Sigma versus the Viltrox, and I'll keep them on the same side of the screen for the length of the video. So the Sigma will be on your left and the Viltrox will be on your right. Let's get into looking at the photos. All right, so first up is my ugly face. So I'm sitting, kind of near the kitchen here. You got the Sigma on the left and the Viltrox on the right. Straight up impressions, I like both of these photos image quality wise. It's sharp, I like the colors. So taking a look, zooming in, you can see the sharpness battle is won by the Sigma here. It's got my eyes a little bit sharper. Let me zoom out just a little bit here. Overall, the sharpness is great on both of these lenses. The Sigma just seems to have nailed the eye focus just a little bit better in this case. You can see the bokeh on both of these shots is really good. You can see the different kind of perspective. The camera was in the same exact spot on this shot, but yeah, so that's just the first shot. Overall, I think the Sigma wins this battle a little bit over the Viltrox. Okay, next photo here, I focused in on a specific spot, and that is right here on your screen. So this is this little black mark on this, I don't even know if this is a pot. I think my fiance Meg just used it as a pot. So this is a real plant in here. I believe it's a pothos. Hopefully I'm not getting that wrong. But anyway, so this is where I told the camera to focus. And as you can see, the Viltrox on the right here is tack sharp on that. The Sigma actually kind of missed it. And I know for a fact that I put the focus point on there, but as you go right, you can see that the Sigma really focused in on the plant here, whereas the Viltrox has the plant a little bit out of focus and focused on the spot that I really told it to nail on. So I think the Sigma really just kind of didn't do what I wanted it to do in this photo, even though the focus point was on this black mark here. So overall though, the sharpness on this photo is pretty darn good. I think the Sigma is a little bit sharper in other areas, but where I told the focus point to go, the Viltrox was like, yeah, I got you, dog. But yeah, overall, that's the photo. You can start to see a little bit of the main difference between these lenses on this photo. It is the barrel distortion of the Sigma 30mm is definitely seen here. So on the left-hand side, this is a bookcase. It is not a bent bookcase, but the Sigma makes it appear so, whereas the Viltrox, the lines are very straight. So there is barrel distortion on the edges for the Sigma, whereas the Viltrox has vignetting on the edges. So it's got a darker vignette than the Sigma. These are things that you can correct with a click of a button in Lightroom with either a lens correction, a lens profile correction, or barrel distortion correction, but just something to note. And you're gonna see this reoccurring in some of the photos we show. Okay, next photo is this little deer guy coming over from the last photo. We were talking about barrel distortion. You can see the curvature of the carpet here is just different on these lenses. And it is now such a glaring difference to me when I'm looking at these photos, as well as the vignette. So if you look in the corner, you can just see the Viltrox has darker corners with this natural vignette at f1.4, whereas the Sigma is brighter in the corner. So we'll go down to the bottom right, same thing. And then all the way on the left, same thing. And you can see the curvature of straight lines. As far as sharpness, this is like such a crazy sharp photo. And it's cool because these fine details of this little deer guy really shine when you're shooting with these types of lenses. So as far as which one's sharper, I honestly don't know. Maybe you guys can tell. I feel like the Sigma is a little bit sharper. I think overall, the Sigma is just a little bit more sharp of a lens, but it is really close sometimes. But yeah, just wanted to point out the vignetting, the barrel distortion of the Sigma and the vignetting of the Viltrox. Kind of a bokeh test here. So let's zoom in a little bit, and you can see that the Sigma bokeh balls are kind of that onion texture. And then the Viltrox has more of a non-onion texture, but at least a little less rounded. So a little more football-like. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, and you can see the shape of the Viltrox is a little bit more football style, whereas the Sigma has a little bit more of a round style. But then they also differ in one's more onion-like. It has, kind of that layered look, whereas the Viltrox is more of a smoothed out kind of bokeh shape. But either way, I think both look great when you're zoomed out, not inspecting, the pixels and everything like that. I mean, you could even see just the specks of the LED lights. These are Christmas lights hung on a black poster board. So you can really see the details when you go in. But when you're posting something to Instagram or on your website or something like that, you really don't see those super fine details. Either way, I think both look great. If I had to pick a preference, I honestly like the Viltrox a little bit more when I'm zoomed all the way out, but I also think the natural vignetting at f1.4 on that lens helps when you're looking at a darker background photo like this. But either way, just wanted to show you guys what that looked like. And then as far as sharpness, I mean, even, there's a little piece of dog hair on Colossus's eye here. You can really see how sharp both of these lenses are. It was focused on his face, but yeah. Oh, also, I wanted to show real quick the minimum focusing distance. This is a clear difference here. So you have the Sigma is under a foot, and then the Viltrox on the right is over a foot. So this is as close as I could get to focusing on this side of this Pentax camera. So you can clearly see that the Sigma can get a lot closer and the Viltrox is a little bit further away. And then the sharpness difference, I focused in on this MV. So you can see the Sigma is a little bit sharper, a lot closer, and the Viltrox is a little less sharp and a little further away. So just wanted to show you the perspective difference on when you try and get as close as you can with both lenses. Also, check the description. I have individual reviews for either one of these lenses, one of which I recently did on the Viltrox 33mm, where I actually implemented in some vlog footage and things like that, did a little different spin on that video. And of course, if you're actually looking at purchasing one of these lenses, I have affiliate links galore in the description for Amazon and B&H and things like that. So as always, guys, though, find the gear where it's cheapest for you, but I appreciate anybody who goes through an affiliate link. I think the autofocus is pretty close between the two. I think the sharpness is just a little bit better on the Sigma, and I think the build quality is great on both lenses, and they go well with the Sony a6000 or any of the other Sony APS-C cameras. So I really think, maybe go with the Viltrox if you're trying to save a little bit of money. And if you really absolutely care about sharpness, like that's your number one priority, then maybe go with the Sigma, but it's not a huge jump by any means. So anyway, I hope all of this information was super helpful to you. I really enjoyed making this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Links and all that good stuff down in the description. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next episode. Later.